Hey shippers, I saw Barbie. Yeah, I know why I'm laughing. I saw Barbie, and this movie messaging was so confusing and everywhere that I don't know where to begin. But best believe I took some notes. So I'm going to review this. So basically, the first scene, you see a bunch of little girls out in the savannah, and they're playing with Barbie dolls. They look dirty, they look tired, they look drained. And then, out of nowhere, Margot Robbie, Barbie, she's dressed in a swimsuit. She looks beautiful, she has heels on. And then, for the first time, little girls realize that they don't have to play with baby dolls. Like, why are they playing with baby dolls? Why are they having to pretend to be mothers? Why is that fun? Because growing up, we had baby alives, we had, and all of these toys were catered to being a mother. We had like the little kitchen sets catering to cooking, women cooking, like fake broom sets and like money going grocery shop, little things like that. Why are girls playing with dolls like that? So Barbie comes in, and these girls, they're so enamored by Margot Robbie, and she's tall like a statue. And then they start bashing their baby dolls in, and basically they start bashing the baby dolls, and here comes the birth of Barbie Land, right? Everything in Barbie Land was beautiful. It was pink, it was colorful, it was like your childhood literally came to life on the screen. They got all the little gags, all the little quirks. It was exactly how little girls play with Barbie, right? And then we get it was just so good. And then we get introduced to Ken, and Ken whole existence is based around Barbie. And that is, it's like Adam and Eve, basically. You have Barbie first, and then you have Ken. So Ken's entire existence depends on Barbie. So basically, Ken's trying to get Barbie's attention, and he ends up hurting himself by trying to run into like the plastic water. And Barbie ends up inviting Ken to a party at her Malibu mansion. um he like tries to talk to her, they're dancing, everybody's having a great time, and he wants to be alone with her. But because it's Barbie Land, every night is girls night. And that's how it was. Every time you had the Barbie house, every night was just a party. And Ken wanted to spend time with Barbie, but Barbie was having girls' night. Every night was girls' night, right? So she's having this thing, and then one day she wakes up and she noticed that her feet are fucking flat. And no, scratch that. A little before that, at the party, she gets a random thought about death, and it's really out of place. It's really jarring. And then she's like, "Oh," she tries to play it off, and then that's when she was at the party, and feet are flat, and she tells her friends about what's going on, and they suggest she goes to Weird Barbie. Now, Weird Barbie, the girl has like kid drawings all over her face. She's always in a split. She's always tangled up because when a little kid plays, when a child has a Barbie doll and the little girl's too young, they tend to bend and twist the Barbies in all type of directions, tend to cut their hair. I had weird Barbie dolls who were like, I tried to give like makeovers and tried to like give bobs to, and it just never ends up well. I thought that was really cute. But Weird Barbie suggests is that she basically goes to the real world to find the person who was playing with her. And she's driving, she tries to leave, and then Ken ends up going with her because Ken's a simp, and he has to go where Barbie goes. And they're going into the real world, and Barbie notices that in the real world, basically, it's a patriarchy. men run everything. And in Barbie Land, women run everything. So she's very, very confused about what she's seeing. And Ken, basically, he's enamored. Like, he loves it. He's like, oh wow, like, because in the real world, Ken has power. And he's seeing all these montages of like men, powerful men, and then he sees a cop that's on a horse. So he sees cops, he sees like men in power, and he sees horses. So he's like, he's like, damn, I have to find a way to bring this back to Barbie Land. Barbie actually goes to see the little girl because they have this like telepathic power, I guess. So she goes to like this middle school slash, I guess, high school, whatever it was, to go see this little girl. And let me tell you something. This little girl was the nastiest little bitch I ever seen. I was in the theater disgusted, and my sister was disgusted as well. She basically, Barbie tries to basically tell her that she's here to help her, and that, she's Barbie, and that, women can do everything, and all type of stuff. And this girl basically calls her a bimbo, calls her a sexual, a fascist, um, a sexual, capitalistic thing that's here to appeal to men. And she says Barbies suck. And I was just really, really disgusted by that. The person who made this movie clearly did not know the messaging behind Barbie. Well, they did, but they didn't. Barbie has been around for a long time, and Barbie represents, is the idea of women can do anything and be anything. So Barbie is a doctor, she's a lawyer, she's a construction worker, she's like a Malibu princess, she's a pageant girl. Barbie represents girls can do anything, and Barbie is diverse. You have black Barbies, you have Asian Barbies, you have all types of Barbies. So for her to come out of her mouth and say that little girl had that in the movie, it was very off-putting. And even if you didn't know her, that's just nothing you say to another woman. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It's just fucking trash. Basically, the FBI alerts the creator of Barbie, and they're trying to get Barbie back into a box. And one of the person who works for the creator of Barbie, the headquarters, is America Ferrara. And then we end up finding out that America Ferrara is the little girl who talked nasty to Barbie mother. And we end up finding out that America Ferrara was playing with the Barbie doll. And she was like, she was putting her negative emotions into the doll, because you're supposed to be happy when you play with Barbie dolls, but she was putting a negative emotion into the doll, and that she was thinking about death and all that, and she basically just wanted to reconnect and have a bond with her daughter. By the way, they did not develop a relationship between the mother and daughter, and they did not change throughout the whole film. They all of a sudden had a good, close relationship, but it came out of left field, and it was very weird. The little girl sucked, and I just couldn't stand it. I could have just watched the whole thing with a mother being friends with Barbie. That I could have watched that without that little girl being there. But yeah. So Barbie ends up running away. America Ferrara ends up trying to help Barbie, and her daughter, Barbie ends up taking them back to Barbie Land. And when they come back to Barbie Land, they end up finding out that Ken basically overthrew Barbie Land and now is living in Barbie's dream house with the patriarchy. And he has brought a bunch of horses and just powerful men, and they overthrown it. And Barbie comes back, and there's a bunch of women who are serving the Kens food, beers, and all type of shit, right? And I'm thinking to myself, so women are just mind controlled, and they're just doing all these things because they're mind controlled, I guess. Girl. Oh, girl, I shit you not, right? The Barbies America Ferrara ends up giving this speech about how hard it is to be a woman and shit, and ends up breaking some women out of their programming and shit like that. So the Barbies who are not brainwashed decide that they're going to go over to the Kens, seduce them, act like bimbos and whores to try to brainwash and overthrow the Kens, to make the Kens fight amongst each other. It was so manipulative, and so like that is how men see women, as like manipulators and seductress and witches and shit like that. So they basically did that, and they're flirting with the Kens, basically treating the Kens like normal human beings, as they should have been doing in the first place. But they end up doing that, overthrowing the Kens, because they end up fighting amongst each other. And what the fuck happened? So basically, child, I'm trying to read these fucking notes. It was just, yes. Even the daughter had a throwaway line saying that women hate women and men hate women, which is true. But girl, why did they throw that fucking line in there, child? So basically, they overthrow the Kens and basically tell the fucking Kens that we're gonna have equality like in the real world, but y'all just gonna have to work y'all way up the corporate ladder. Like starting as being y'all don't get equal rights off the bat. Y'all gonna be somewhat equal. And then mind you, the Kens don't have homes. So when it comes to like Barbie and the toys, the girls always had like houses and stuff, and the boyfriends would just kind of like visit. And Barbie Land is the same way. The Kens don't have homes. They're homeless. They have no rights. They have nothing. And basically, I guess Barbie decides, even though everything's kind of great now in Barbie Land and she's living in a matriarchy, to go back to live in a patriarchy where she can, basically be a real person. And then you have like America Ferrara's fucking husband, and he's trying to learn Spanish in the back, because I guess there's this joke throughout the movie that he's a white guy and he doesn't know Spanish. So basically, the daughter is not even, she's half white. So like, girl, I shit you not. They call Margot Robbie White Savior Barbie. I shit you not. They called her White Savior Barbie, and basically, now that Margot Robbie's Barbie is a real girl, the first thing she does says her name is Barbara, and she goes to the gynecologist. The end. This was the most confusing fucking movie I ever sat through and watched. I didn't know what to feel during this shit. Everybody kept saying that this was a feminist movie, but if it was feminism, is about the equal rights between men and women. That movie was not it. It was just a matriarchy, toxic, fun, toxic movie. It was so bad, it was good, but like it appealed to you visually, but the story-wise was fucking trash. And I understand why the conservatives are losing their fucking minds, because this movie was not good at all. The messaging was fucking terrible. It was all over the place. If you really wanted to make a Barbie movie, why couldn't it just be about Margot Robbie realizing that her perfect world was basically not that perfect, and just like, girl, like it didn't wrap up shit. It didn't wrap up shit. Nothing was wrapped up. Nothing was solved. Nothing at all. America Ferrara's character, nothing was solved for her. She just automatically, and her daughter's okay with her, but she still somewhat hates Barbie. She still calls her White Savior Barbie. It was just like, why? And then Ken still don't have no home, still don't have no rights. He's just Ken enough. He's just good enough, I guess. She gives him the speech about being good enough, but not really, because he still don't have no fucking rights. So what? And then she goes to the, why would you leave a society? Why would you leave Barbie Land to go live in a patriarchy where you were getting harassed? When she got to the real world, y'all, she was over there getting harassed by these men and sexually assaulted. And now she's leaving Barbie Land to go in a male dominated world. For what reason? Like, what would be the point of that? Because Barbie world is no longer perfect. And no, in the real world's not perfect. So what's the difference between being a doll and being a real woman? A vagina? Wouldn't that make it transphobic? I'm so confused. I'm confused. What the fuck was the message of this movie? It was so confusing. It was every fucking where. Is Barbie a staple of feminism, or is she like this bimbo? Like, what's going on? What's going on? It was nothing feminist about this movie. It wasn't. It was just girl bossing it up with like trying to make it deep and intricate, and it fucking wasn't. It was just so weird. It was really weird. What would have kind of been a good story is if I guess the only way to deal with death is to procreate, like, because if you feel like you're dying, the way we live on is through our children and our legacy. So the only thing that would make sense is if she and Ken somehow went to the real world and had kids. That would continue the Barbie legacy of her not dying, because she has this fear about death, which is like a human thing. But that's a bad messaging for the movie, because it goes back to women needing families now, which is contradictory to the fucking movie. Like, what would have been a good movie is if she went from being in a matriarchal society where women run everything, and she came to like the real world and she was getting harassed and sexually assaulted, I guess, and Ken was there to be her protector and be there for her, and she realizes that, listen, Ken, I do need you, I do love you, we are a team, we are a unit. It should no longer be Barbie world, it should be Ken and Barbie world. We should be equals. That would be feminist. That would be more feminist than what the fuck we got. And she and Ken went into Barbie Land and was like, listen, we're going to set the example, because the whole point about Ken and Barbie, they are supposed to represent everything good with being a man and being a woman. Ken is a man who could do everything, and he has a perfect girlfriend, Barbie, who can literally do anything. That is their roles. That's the whole point of the Barbie dolls, to represent that man and women can do anything. He is the perfect boyfriend. She's the perfect girlfriend. They belong together. But throughout the years, Ken and Barbie broke up, like in the movies and shit. But at the end, they always get back together because they're Ken and Barbie, even though they're busy with their schedules. That would have been cool. Like, showing that women can have it all, I guess, have the career and also have the family and have the man. That would have been really cool. But I don't know what the fuck I watched. Y'all tell me in the comment section below, if y'all watched Barbie, what the fuck did y'all think? Because I don't know what the fuck I watched. I don't know what the fuck I watched. Ken was the most enjoyable part of the movie. And he wasn't even supposed to be. He was like comic relief, but they made him so like, I don't know. I did not like the way they treated Ken. And if they were going to treat him that bad, they should have done something. They should have gave him rights. That he should have had his own fucking dream house. Why don't the kids have that? Could have been a thing. Like, the men have their own, like, they have their rights, they have their own stuff, and the girls, equal. They had a chance to do so much with this, and it had so much potential. The only way I could see you liking the Barbie movie is if you look at its surface and just like it for the nostalgia factor. As far as the movie, it was just not a good movie. And I don't know, there's no way else, it just wasn't. It wasn't. Y'all tell me in the comment section below, did you like the movie? Because the movie was just fun, bad, toxic. It was good. It was fun, bad. I'm a head out. Love you guys. Bye.